G'day and welcome to Aussievision. My name's Liv and I'm joined here today with the lovely Cooper.
Hello, hello.
And whereabouts in the world are you at the moment, Cooper?
I am currently in Bratislava, Slovakia, so pretty close to the old Vienna, Austria, where we'll be talking about today.
Excellent. So jealous you're going to Eurovision. I am stranded here in Australia. But anyway, we are talking about Austria's entry, which is Halo, which is Lumix featuring Pia Maria. Very exciting. I'll tell you a little bit about these artists. Pia Maria is 18 and a relatively new face to the music industry there. Lumix has a few more accolades under his belt at 19. He had some significant breakthrough collaborations with artists such as Orange Inc., DJ, Hyperclap, and notably Gabri Ponte of Eiffel 65. He did an EDM cover of Monsters. And honestly, it was in the charts in Northern Europe for weeks. And we're talking like a long, long time. If you've been on TikTok, I guarantee you've heard that song. You might not know it's that song, but he is actually the youngest Austrian to have a gold record, full stop.
Wow.
So, yeah, that song really bangs. But anyway, moving on to Halo, it was an internal selection, as has been Austria's path since 2016. They're pretty keen on internal selections. And today, the Aussievision contributors have ranked the song out of 10 in terms of jury appeal and televote appeal. And we'll start with the jury appeal. So the score was averaged out from our contributors, and we ended up with a grand total of 4.79 out of 10 as jury appeal, which does put it into the bottom 10 of the entries this year. What do you think of that one, Cooper?
Yeah, that's a bit rough, isn't it? I wouldn't think it's bottom 10. I'm not saying it's going to be a jury winner by any means, but I think that we have seen vocally it's been a bit of a struggle, and if you're not getting the vocals right, that's going to start dropping your jury score. But juries also love to vote for a radio-friendly song, and that's what Halo is. So I'm expecting a bit higher than bottom 10.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely isn't screaming jury-friendly by any means, but I do think below a 5 out of 10 is probably a little bit harsh from our team. I will say it's not lyrically or tune-wise necessarily the most sophisticated song by any means, and EDM by nature isn't always gobbled up by the juries. It has to be sort of done in a particular way to sort of grab their attention. It can be, the vocal could potentially polarize some people. It does sort of sometimes get a little like shouty at times,
yes,
in some of her performances, or when it goes into the up-down bits. Unless that's really tight, I could see it turning some jurors off potentially. I'm just questioning the overall package in terms of a jury. It's just not something that they usually gravitate towards on paper. So let's hope that...
Especially this year, there's a lot of songs going for a jury vote. So the songs that aren't necessarily the typical jury ones, I don't think they're going to go extremely well.
Yeah, and this is something that I could imagine in a semi-final isn't necessarily at the bottom for a juror, but you know, if it's in that middle range again and again and again and again, and no one's got it up really high, then it's going to sink no matter what in the end. So let's hope that the team has voted them a bit higher in the televote.
Yes, better.
Moving on, the Aussievision contributors have voted out of 10, and the average for the televote appeal was 7.71 out of 10, which does make the top 10 overall. Cooper, what do you think of that one?
I mean, if it's going to get points from anywhere, it's going to be a public vote. It is a big dance track, and especially this year, it's a bit more mid-tempo, ballady sea of songs. This is going to stand out, and people watch Eurovision for a party, and that's what this song is. I am worried about it, though, with public vote. The only concern would be staging. We've seen in the past DJ artist stagings haven't funded well. We had like Poland 2018 didn't qualify. We had Finland 2019 didn't qualify. So if they don't bring that party that we're wanting from the song on stage, it's going to start dropping in the public's views.
Yeah, I mean, it's always notoriously difficult to stage a DJ. It's just always so difficult. And if you want to take hints on how to do it well, I mean, Subwoofer are right there, sort of doing a real, masterclass on how to make that kind of song work in somehow on the camera. But I mean, we are in a drought of upbeat songs this year. Like, I've been left gasping and dying for a song like this. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, finally, like something with a pulse, right? Like, so there will be people, I'm hoping, who will sit there and go, yeah, this is a tune, this is something, right? Because it is. I mean, in this year, it stands out just naturally because we don't have much EDM in there. And, you know, as far as commercial radio stuff goes, it's not half bad. Like, it is good quality, and it's been produced pretty well. And the lyrics, they're fun. Whenever I listen to them, I just go, yeah, I'm a CEO. I can do what I want. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something special in there.
It's definitely not a lyrical masterpiece, but it's a song that is pretty much made for a radio. I've heard it quite often here in Europe while I've been traveling. They've been playing it. Yes, a lot in Vienna when I was there, but also heard it in Germany. I heard it in Switzerland. So it's being played.
Damn. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so jealous.
I know, right?
You put your ear to the ground.
I know.
Well, there you go. There's already going to be people who have this in their back book already. And when you see it, you're just like, oh, yeah, I know that song. And it's the kind of song that it already is easily digestible the first time you hear it. But I think the more times you hear it, it gets better anyway. So it's definitely doing favors for it. It is going to be tricky to stage and sing. So I think that's probably the biggest question marks there, basically.
Yeah.
But if they can pull it together and give us a little bit of a show and, you know, bring the party, I don't see any reason that this couldn't get a half-decent televote and aid their efforts to potentially getting to the final. So moving on to that, they're in semi-final 1 and they're 13th in the running order. What do you think of that position for them?
I think that's a very good position for them. 13th is at the kind of near the end of the semi-final, but more importantly, it's what songs are near it. I think it has, so we have Portugal, Croatia, Denmark before it, and then we have Iceland, Greece after it. So most of those songs are your slower, ballady songs. So it's going to pretty much punch the audience in the face. It's going to be that wake up that people want. I think that's perfect for them. The only concern is Norway is near the end, and like you said before, they're doing a sort of DJ thing as well. It is still very different, but they could do it better. So that's my only fear of that spot.
Yes, I don't think they could ask for much more with that running order in terms of clarity of genres between the slower stuff and then them and then some slower stuff later. So that's good. But I do question Norway being in sort of spitting distance of them in the running order, and whether it could, I don't know, maybe split their televote. Look, maybe it is different markets and I'm reading it wrong. Yeah. It's an unusual kind of entry, really. We don't see many that have this type of feel about it at Eurovision.
Yes.
So it's kind of always tricky to know how they'll fall, really. Do you think it will qualify?
I have it qualifying now in mine. I think it definitely has a chance of qualifying. I think it is the weaker of two semis, in my opinion. It stands out from all the other songs we have in that semi, apart from a couple. So I see it there. But if they mess up with either the vocal or the staging, I think it's going to start being a struggle for them. Yeah,
I have it sort of in that sort of 8th to 10th pocket to qualify potentially. And that, you know, if they muck up too much, then it would just drop into that sort of 11th, 12th kind of position. And who knows, maybe they'll smash it out of the park and we'll just fly into that grand final. But I do see it as a bit
fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I really want it to provide some great energy to the whole room, and it's variety in a grand final is what you want. You don't want 25 songs that are the same thing. So anyway, so we both have it down as probably qualifying at this point.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
Yeah, studio track wise it is.
Yeah. And if it makes it to the grand final, where do you think it might finish?
This could really go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like nearing the 7th to 10th, but I also wouldn't be surprised down at like 22nd. I think it depends on the mood of the night, what other songs are around it. Because we've seen like other upbeat songs like Adrenalina last year. It was pretty terrible result at the end of it, what we all expected. So I could see it go really well or really poorly. It's kind of the biggest question mark if it does go.
Yeah, I mean, anecdotally, Austria doesn't usually gather the most crazy televotes in history, and this isn't really a jury song either. If it makes it to the final, I sort of have it in that 20th to 23rd pocket is sort of where I envision it. But I'd love them to prove me wrong. Well, anyway, I've got some mixed ideas about Austria here today. Thank you so much for your time, Cooper, and enjoy your time in Europe.
I will. Can't wait for Eurovision.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.